personally, at this stage, I'm not that bothered by it. Scott is. I know, speaking to other fans that I've spoken to in the last 2 or 3 days about it, some of them are unhappy with it. Personally, right now, I'm not bothered. What do you think? 03 717 2233 44. Let's go and speak to Daz, who's a Stoke fan. All right, Dazza?
Hey, mate. You all right?
All right, Daz?
How are you?
Yeah, I'm just on my way to work.
What'd you do? What'd you do, Daz?
I'm a night manager at a luxury wedding venue hotel.
Luxury.
Oh, nice.
So what's going on tonight? If it's a wedding venue, what's happening? What are you looking?
There's been a wedding there today. They'll finish about 1 o'clock, and then I'll go in with the team and sort out everything and set up for tomorrow's weddings. They do 191 weddings a year.
Jeez.
Do you go in and gate crash?
Yeah. Well, it's all the free food you get later on. It's great.
Yeah, lots left over.
Don't have lunch.
I put on about 3 sodas have been there.
Go on then, Dad. What do you want to say, matey?
I don't think it makes any difference anymore whether you go and watch players, because there's that much data analysis now that's used by managers, recruitment teams and everything else, especially Europe are light years ahead of us, a lot of sides over here. They use it all the time. You very rarely see managers, and you don't even see scouts at matches anymore. You know, it's all done now in that way. You know everything about a player, the size of his toenails and everything, you know.
Listen, data is bigger than it's ever been, but it's just back up what your eyes see, not be driven by the data. And I think it was Carlo Ancelotti. Well, it definitely was Carlo Ancelotti who said, and he was talking about sports science. He's saying, I might be told that the sports science is saying a guy is struggling. If my eyes agree with it, he doesn't play. If they don't, he does. And this is Carlo Ancelotti we're talking about. I get the data, and I get that it may feel that, you know, you can still have a lot in front of you. But when I go back to when I'm at football matches, I can see the whole pitch. I can see how a centre-back is talking to his fellow centre-back or left-back while the ball's down the other end. I can see how much of a leader he is when things aren't going well. You know, that for me is the singular most important thing. But on top of that, again, it's optics. Why not? It's irrelevant that we playing games, as always, in groups that we should win. I just think it's about showing for 18 months to the English public that you're proud to be in that job and that I'm going to give it absolutely everything. And by doing that, surely is by being there as much as possible rather than sitting back. I've got to be honest with you, I'm not angry about it. I just don't get it. That's how I feel.
No, fair enough, but I really, because that's the old-fashioned way of thinking. See, we've been a Stoke City fan for years and years and years. We've had this endless procession of British managers that go out and they look at players, but when you look at some of the players that they brought in over the years, they're not up to the job, and they're looking at Stoke to look at this data analysis system and the way they look at players now to try and bring in younger, better players. And this is the sort of thing that's happening on the continent. It's the sort of thing that's happening with Brentford, Brighton and teams like that. And you don't actually see scouts at games in the same sort of way.
Let me ask you this, Daz, right? So you're going to work now, right?
Yeah.
You're off to work. But what if someone says to you, oh my God, you can't believe it, right? There was people in the toilet, right? I see a guy and a girl go in there. They've been there half an hour, right? No, I'm using this as an example, right? Because you go to work now. You're the perfect first caller, right? But you're not there, Daz. You've not seen it. So it's all well and good you getting like someone telling you winning. You go in there, no one's in there, right? You've gone in the toilet, no one's in there, right? You haven't done your job, have you?
I've got, honestly, this in front of me, there's that much CCTV. Nobody can go anywhere without me seeing.
Now, one camera doesn't work.
They're not in a toilet, surely.
No, in the toilet you haven't got in Dazza.
No, I don't need that, but you can see who goes in and comes out.
I know, but imagine if that camera's broken, right?
We do also have female staff that go in and do check the toilet.
I was only joking. I didn't.
Yeah, but Daz, they can just say we were talking. Unless someone can go in, then you don't know, do you?
Daz?
I don't think it's the same sort of analysis.
I'm not. Of course it's not. I know it. I'm only joking with you, Daz.
No, it's fine. It's fine. No, there's no problem.
Daz, listen, appreciate the call.
Yeah.
Get to work safe.
Enjoy that
Have a good
sausage
night.
roll and glass of champagne left over.
The old buffet at the end of the wedding. Bet there's some good old canopies left, prawns.
And you always get someone just hoovering it all up, don't they?
That's Daz. He's got to. He hasn't got to be there till 1 a.m. He's left early to get all the food. 03717 2233. Don't forget time for one more call. Yeah, we have. Let's go and speak to Joe, who's says London Irish here. All right, Joe.
Gents, how we doing?
All right.
Hello,
it
mate.
says London Irish. I'm guessing you're a fan of the rugby. You're not half Irish and half from London.
Well, that's exactly it, mate. That's where I'm driving to now, actually. I'm off to Cardiff. I managed to snag some Six Nations tickets last minute. So,
Did you?
Oh, wow.
Wales versus Ireland. So, yeah, just packing up the car and heading that direction.
So what time are you going to get there?
Well, I'm going to make a stop off first. I think I'm going to stop off Hereford way and then head down on Saturday morning. Just get straight on the beds, I reckon.
Stop at Hereford to do what? Do you want to spend the night?
Yeah, spend the night, take a night off.
What's in Hereford?
Who's in
Not too
Hereford?
much,
Yeah,
really.
what's her
A little
name?
bit of family, but not too much. Kind of halfway. I live in Ascot. I'm a teacher in Ascot these days, so yeah, kind of halfway.
Well, you got tomorrow off school. Oh, it's half term, isn't it?
Right.
It's half term.
Yeah, half term, mate. So
And have you
part-timers,
booked accommodation?
you know that. What's that?
Have you booked the accommodation already?
Yeah, I have.
Okay.
Yeah, booked it. Yeah, so it's all sorted. Got a couple of mates coming as well. So no, it should be a good laugh. Should be all right.
Excellent stuff.
Yeah, good
Go
one.
on then. What do you want to say?
Well, I was fortunate enough to do some scouting for London Irish sort of in my day, and obviously before the club closed down. And I think it's as much about coaches and players and parents and stakeholders seeing scouts at the game. And I think it's on a micro level what I was doing compared to Thomas Tuchel. But I think having those conversations with stakeholders and with players and with coaches at the game and people seeing you there and taking an interest, I think that's the main part of scouting is getting your ear to the ground and seeing what's going on. I agree with both of you in a sense of, you want to see what the players are doing, kind of what the cameras aren't showing you. But I think it is as much about having those little conversations and maybe, someone's coming up that you haven't heard about, or there's some sort of thing that's maybe going on in the dressing room that you would never even know about unless you'd been there, and not just been there, but had a conversation with other people. I think that's the important thing.
That's a really good added thing to it as well, Jace. Once you're there, you never know who you're going to speak to,
No,
little
true,
things you pick up. And what were you like when, you knew that scouts were there watching you?
Look, I was taught from a very early age, there's always someone watching.
Exactly.
Right? There's always someone watching. Doesn't matter what age, what level, there is always some. So I'm probably got this wrong, and I don't want to put words in your mouth, Joe, but I'm guessing you're saying that the players won't perform because Tuchel won't be there. You're not saying that, are you?
I mean, I would like to think that these Premier League players are.
No, but they're not though, Joe, are they? No, but they're not. They're not going to go out in the field and go, Thomas Tuchel's up there. Have you seen that?
No.
Right? That's not going to happen, right? They got first and foremost the badge they're wearing, right? Then they got to do it for the fans and the family. Then they got to do it for the body. There's all sorts of people that are going to go out there and perform for. The fact that Thomas Tuchel being there is always an added little bit of something, right? Always, of course, the England manager's here, right? But let me tell you, if you're Rico Lewis, I'm going to use him, right? He was on the fringe of the England squad, right? He's been around the camp. They might have a bit of an issue at fullback. He might be. Rico Lewis's performance is not going to improve because Thomas Tuchel's in the crowd. He knows people are watching.
I think that's the difference between the type of games that I was going to watch and obviously Thomas Tuchel. It's the same ballpark, but completely ends of the spectrum. If I was there, I knew that, those younger players, those 15, 16-year-old players, they are going to step up a gear, and I wanted to see that as well. I think, at that young age, you want to see if they step up.
But you don't, Joe, you don't want them just to step up, right? Because you're there. Have you heard Joe from London Irish is here, right?
But
Big Joe, are you big? Are you big?
No, I'm small, mate.
Okay, let's say Little Joe, right? We call you Little Joe, right? So have you seen Little Joe's up there, right?
No, but Joe, what you were also saying Little Joe, what you're also saying is by actually being there physically, you can pick up things that you definitely wouldn't have picked up if you weren't there. Now, there's certain games.
What I'm saying.
Yeah,
That's more what I'm saying.
exactly.
Definitely. I think, just that ear to the ground, you hear sort of, oh, so-and-so's had a problem with his missus, or, and
What have you heard?
it just
What have you
gives
heard? What have you heard?
Well, no, I haven't heard anything.
You're not talking about me, are you?
Maybe, Cundy, maybe. Never mind.
Didn't come and watch me play back in the day, did you?
He's too young. He wasn't born even when you retired.
I wasn't, unfortunately. No, I'm what was I, 90? Yeah, born 97, so I missed all of the good years.
97, great year.
Listen, Joe, really appreciate the call. What time are you getting to Hereford?
What's the watch saying? I've got another 2 hours, fellas. So I'll be listening out, and if you have anything more, then give me a bell.
I tell you what, we're going to do a midnight train, Joe, right? We're doing a midnight train, obviously at midnight. Will you phone us back?
I might do. If I'm still on the road, if I'm not asleep, Cundy, then I will do.
Well, don't sleep at the wheel.
No, I won't do, mate. But I might have to.
Oh, I see, if it's in the car. Right. All right. Joe, appreciate the call. Safe journey. Phone us later.
Have a good night.
The Sports Bar with Jamie O'Hara and Jason Cundy. Monday to Thursday nights from 10 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.